Ladies and gentlemen, this is Metagetics, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super discussion. This time was kind of an off-the-cuff kind of topic. My main question is Dragon Ball overexpanding its universe and lore a little too fast for our liking or for our own good? What I mean by that is we've gotten a lot of expansion to the lore of Dragon Ball, which I'm not complaining at all. My only concern is we're getting so many questions raised by the expansion of the lore that we're not getting many answers. For example, it all started basically with the Battle of Gods arc, the first arc for Dragon Ball Super, or if you want to really reference it back to the first movie, Battle of Gods. Because of course the first two movies Dragon Ball Super has had, which is going to be the Battle of Gods and the Resurrection F, that basically spanned the first 20-30 episodes of the series. It's fine, but once we got past that, that's where the lore really started expanding. The main issue was the Universe 6, Universe 7 arc. And that is where we actually got some face time with another universe, being Universe 6, which is the mirror universe for Universe 7. That's where we met Kaba, the alternate Saiyans, basically. The Yin and Yang to Beerus, which was Champa. And we also got more information on the Angels, which is, Whis' sister, Vados. That's all fine and dandy. We didn't get a counter to the Namekians, or we didn't get a counter to any other race we're aware of in regards to Universe 7, but we were introduced to a few other races we were not aware of yet, which was the Machine Men, which is, our representation is Magetta, and then also Botamo, we don't know what kind of race he is, and as well as Hit, who is ancient in regards to age-wise. He's old. He's been around for a long time. We have not seen those races yet in Universe 7, or our original Dragon Ball Z universe. My main question is, we've gotten a lot of speculation, a lot of, what-ifs in regards to, hey, what if Vegeta actually went back and visited Planet Vegeta, or Planet Sadal, which is the original home for the Saiyans. Hey, what would happen if Vegeta and Goku went back and visited all the Saiyans and really kind of checked it out, and a lot of speculation as to what would it be like to see the original planet of the Saiyans. What are they like? What is this? What is that? Those questions were never answered. On top of that, we're getting more and more expansion in regards to the origins of the Super Dragon Balls, and hence that being the reason why there are Namekian Dragon Balls. We've not gotten a lot of answers there. We've not gotten answers in a lot of things. Now, please excuse me if I go over a few details repeatedly, but like I said, this discussion is basically off the cuff. Just a thought I had that I thought was worth going over. One more thing is this whole Universal Survival arc. It's raising a lot more questions that, once again, we're not getting answers to. And I'm fine with waiting for answers, but with the rate that we're expanding, I don't know if we're going to get all the answers we're wondering. And Dragon Ball Z in itself left us with a lot of questions, which we're finally getting some answers to, and some we never did. Dragon Ball Super is doing a little more of that as well. I'm okay with leaps of logic and plot holes, but just the fact that there's so much expansion and not that much explanation, that's where my concern is. I know that Toei has a division. It may not be Toei, but basically those in charge of Dragon Ball. There's a division that is expanding on other ideas. For example, that's how we got the reincarnation as Yamcha manga. That is basically one of the first things produced by this think tank of Dragon Ball information, or Dragon Ball lore. It's not so much lore, but it's just an expansion of Dragon Ball. An alternate thought, an alternate what if. I love it. I thought the Yamcha manga is great. It's fun, it's quippy, it's interesting. It's one of those what ifs. But my main concern is, are they going to address all these questions raised by the fact that we're getting so many plot holes and so many just questions? And I'm fine with questions, but it'd be nice to have some of these answered here and there. Dragon Ball in itself, there's a lot of great storylines. that are developing from Dragon Ball Super. It's slowly becoming a titan of a piece of manga or a piece of anime. For example, the Future Trunks arc with Goku Black. That was great. There's a lot of fun things in there. There was a few leaps and a few plot holes that were left, but that is going to happen with an arc that makes such impactful changes. Just like the time rings. There were so many time rings in that box that was revealed by Kawasu. We don't know what each time ring went to, and all these jumping back and forth in time, more time rings in essence should be produced, but we've not gotten explanations to those. But, you know, in hindsight, or, you know, I digress, we don't need explanations for those because I don't think those will be addressed. But just Future Trunks going to an alternate timeline to live his own life where there is another Trunks, that could be a problem down the road, canon-wise. And I know canon is a loose term now. It's not really binding. It's not a great thing to really stick to because there's so many different changes in the Dragon Ball manga and the Dragon Ball anime that canon is about as out the window as Broly and his power scaling. But that's just, you know, that's neither here nor there. My big thing is, you know, I love the franchise, I love the series, but are we expanding too much? This Tournament of Power, the Universal Survival arc, it's giving us a lot more avenues and a lot more questions like ever before. I mean, we got introduced unofficially to 80 new fighters, you know, 10 more universes with angels and gods and races, respectively. And we're just kind of going through them really fast, which I get that. But, for example, the Pride Troopers. The Pride Troopers is a really cool idea. I like the fact that they're basically a force for good, even though they kind of see Goku as a bad guy. But I'm sure that'll be addressed later on. I got a feeling that they may team up with the Saiyans, or at least with Goku and company, towards some larger threat. I do think there is going to be a larger threat beyond this Tournament of Power. But that doesn't matter. Again, there's so much lore. Like, for example, this think tank of Dragon Ball people that over in Japan through Toei, they could really have a bunch of, you know, spin-off mangas that people would invest in, people would enjoy. Just a few ideas would be, you know, a manga focused on the Pride Troopers, another manga focused on Planet Sadal for the home of the Saiyans. Even, you know, kind of one-shot mangas on Magetta's people or different universes. There's a lot of interesting characters that we've not gotten a lot of, you know, fluff from, a lot of explanation behind. And personally, as a Dragon Ball fan, I will soak up whatever's put out there, but it would be nice to get a little more, I don't know, a little more courtesy to, hey, we got all these cool characters we've introduced you to, but we're not going to explain a lot of them except for a few fights, a few moves, and that's all you get. Personally, I feel like I'd be cheated if I didn't get more explanation behind that. At least explore the whole Universe 6 thing, but we have no idea how this Tournament of Power is going to end. If it goes the way it's supposed to, because of the end of Dragon Ball Z, which means Universe 7 is going to win. And that means, unless things change, which I believe things will change, that means Universe 1 through 12, with the exception of 7, will be erased. Well, except for the ones that are exempt. The 8 universes contending, with the exception of Universe 7, so there goes 7 universes right there. They're going to be deleted, period. Which includes Universe 6. And a lot of fan-favorite characters like Hit, Kaba, Caulifla, Kale. A lot of these characters, even Vegeta and Botama, I'm sure there's some people that love those two characters. Even when they fight together, which was really fun to watch. I feel like if things don't change and they get snipped out of existence, a lot of people will be angry with not just Toei, but the direction enforced by Akira Toriyama. I do love a lot of his work, but I'm not going to not point out flaws here and there, or not so much flaws, but concerns. I really hope that things change for the Tournament of Power. I'm enjoying every episode. I'm loving every moment of it, but I just feel that Dragon Ball Super is teasing us with a lot of what-if scenarios that it's great content for content creators on YouTube, which we can make a bunch of videos and topics and discussions, and it's great for us in that respect, but in regards to factual things that will happen in the manga and the anime, I feel like we'll be left wanting. Just a concern that I wanted to raise. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you like the video, go and hit, drop a like. Like I said, leave a comment down below. What do you think about this whole topic? What are your concerns, and what do you think is good for the series, and what do you think may be a concern for the series? Of course, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate everybody that does hit that red button. I'll be dropping more content, weekly reviews, random discussions. If you guys got a topic you want me to talk about, you have an idea, let me know. Find me over on Twitter at Metagetics. That's all the shameless plugs I'll put in there, I promise. But of course, we got Let's Plays and everything like that. But either way, I digress on that as well. Thank you again for joining me on this quick Dragon Ball Super discussion on, is Dragon Ball Super expanding the lore for Dragon Ball a little too fast without explanation? That's just a concern I have. But either way, thank you for joining me. I hope to catch you next time, and I'll see you later. Peace.